What's going on, traders? Welcome back to your morning watch list. Finally, kind of getting back and settled in. So let's run through some things this morning, get you guys up to speed. This is kind of one of the main penny stocks that have been moving this morning, MDGS. A lot of traders are following this. They got some news with Amazon. Currently, it's right at resistance. Okay, if I can show you the 4-hour chart, we ran right into our 3 standard deviation resistance, and we are now selling off. So essentially this move is already broken up. We've hit resistance, and now we're pulling back down. So unless this decreases quite a bit, you're probably not going to see a bounce here pre-market. First level, I'd probably even consider a little bounce for a counter trend trade this morning would be somewhere around the $3 price in this zone. But nonetheless, it is fading down. I think this is going to end up being a short play. But either way, we're going to keep an eye on it. If you look at the TTM has shifted red here. So that typically is a sign that it's not going to break out. When it was doing this wedge pattern, looking like it was going to break up here, the TTM was in fact red. And that can always tell you to probably hold off on trying to trade it to the long side, especially because it was trading well above the blue as well. Now, MDGS, again, main penny stock, a lot of people are following. I can't say that's going to be a good trade for the time being. It needs to decrease a little bit more, base out, and then we can make a decision going forward, probably around market open. Now what I want to do is run through the S&P 500 with you guys. If anybody remembers some of the videos I was posting from the previous weeks, we did mention that there was a good chance you would see the markets back up towards like 347 or so, and we even surpassed that, okay? So our target on the market was this yellow line, which you can see it's at 348 right now. So that was the target back to the upside. Now, if we go and look at this 4-hour time frame, you're going to see that we are currently sitting on this dotted line. Okay, so this is a potential resistance mark today. The market's been running really strong. The only thing that I could suggest we would see today is maybe a slight pullback day, very minimal off of this level. We've had such a good run. I could see a little hesitation day here, but if in the event we keep running up, again, our next target is just going to be the previous all-time high. You can see that at the previous all-time high, we have a level, right? We go back to this daily chart. You can see that the dotted line here on this chart is just slightly over the all-time high. So maybe a pullback today. Let me run you through all the things I could see happening. Okay, I could see a slight pullback day that maybe comes back down to 348.76, and we hold just above this orange line deviation, and then later we push back up more towards that all-time high mark. So take a look at this 4-hour chart, go back. You're going to see we have this dotted line here. Maybe we get a pullback day that brings us back down to about 348, and we hold, and then continue that run back up. So what I want to do now is take a look at the Qs. All right. So if we look at the Qs on the 4-hour chart, we still have some room to run right back up to the all-time high. All-time high is 304.02 here on the Qs. So if we put a resistance mark here, you're going to see that it lines up perfectly with that trending dotted line. So I'd say right now it appears that the Qs are trying to push the market back up to about 302 currently. The daily chart is slightly above that, so anywhere from 306 to 302 is the target on the upside right now for the Qs. Pullback support currently exists at about 291 for the Qs. So that's a better way of me explaining the SPY. Let's go back and redo this one. Okay. So target on the upside right now for the SPY is about 361. Pullback support currently is at about 348. Okay. Now I want to take a look at the United States dollar, see how this is performing today. I've yet to look. As you guys know, I've been mentioning the dollar. It's probably going to continue decreasing. We have pulled back. We've continued sliding. Right now, we have just been holding over our 4-hour regression trend mark. Okay, so if in the event we can actually successfully get below, call it 92.99, that's where we'll see this market continue to slide. If we take a look at the 20-year chart, 20-year chart, we're barely holding this half standard deviation in the middle. So again, as soon as we can successfully get down and below here, we might see that trend on the dollar continue back down. And I mentioned that this is my target on the dollar is down there at 87.30, 87.50, and that's where you'll see your next big bounce in the dollar. As we've seen before, it had bounced there previously, so the next time we get there, there's going to be some optimism in the market to bounce it again, and that's where I'd anticipate we'd see the dollar bounce stronger, is right about there. Now, if the dollar gets below that level, that's where the whole entire world's going to panic, okay? So for right now, you can see that silver and gold probably over the past, call it 2 weeks, all right? Let's take a look at maybe the past 10 days. You can see we've kind of bounced up, and that's really because the dollar has been decreasing. Okay, you can see gold's been going up over say the past week or so, and that's primarily because the dollar has also been decreasing. So just a little FYI there for you. All right, a couple stocks that reported earnings today are Delta. Delta's going down. I'm sure you can imagine why. Look at that big drop off there with Delta. They're burning a lot of cash right now. You can see Delta Airlines stocks dropped after loss widens, revenues falls, and more than expected. Okay, so either way, airline, cruise line, that whole hospitality industry, travel industry, it's still getting crushed. The restrictions haven't really fully been lifted on the whole coronavirus thing. So nonetheless, don't really care how you feel about it, but these companies are taking a hit because of that. Let me actually do this real quick. Looks like we got another stock that's popping up here on the scanner, PED. So PED currently running up right now here pre-market. Seems to be having quite a bit of momentum right now. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of news other than these two hit pieces. Commerce Exchange offers to acquire all outstanding common units of Sandridge Permanium Unit Trust. Okay. So there's some news on this. This stock is currently running up. It's already outside of its trend for the day, so there's a good chance you're going to see that pull back here pretty soon. All right, let's go take a look back over at MDGS, see what it's doing. Still decreasing. We've gotten down close to the $3 mark. We actually went through this level. So again, probably going to continue seeing that decrease for the time being. No trades there on the long side for now. And really, that's honestly probably about it. There isn't a whole lot that's really moving around today. We have Johnson & Johnson. They reported earnings. So far, they've been down. Citigroup reported earnings, kind of choppy, got a head and shoulders action taking place pre-market. Chase reported earnings. We're going to be going into the earnings season here pretty soon, so you should see some more volatility picking up in the market in terms of the large cap stocks, but we have not yet gotten there. We still have quite a ways to go until we start seeing some of these earnings. But other than that, guys, I mean, your penny stocks are there going to be MDGS, which is already fading down, PEDS, which started popping up, or PED, which started running up, still has some pretty good momentum. If we look at the daily chart, it has a resistance mark here at $1.85, but I think we already surpassed that. So we have resistance here at $1.86 that we passed. Let's check the 4-hour chart, resistance there at 196, 197. So right now the target on the downside is 194. That's where our support levels are at. So our target to the downside on PED is going to be $1.90, $1.80. Price action resistance is up here at $4. So the other interesting thing is the volume really isn't all that high. If you look at the previous time that we ran up to 4, the volume was about 12 million. Today we're not even at 4 million. So we could still have a lot of bag holders from that previous move that can weigh in on this move today and essentially bring it down. So we'll keep watching this. We'll see if this keeps running here pre-market. But so far, that's pretty much the watch list. You got PED, MDGS, earnings plays like Johnson & Johnson, Citigroup. Disney had some good news. You guys could take a look at that. Disney had some decent news, had a big jump overnight, so it'll probably bring in some volatility to the market here. Right now, I have support existing at about $1 or 129 with a target up to the upside of 132. I think Tesla could also be in sort of a situation that's curling. Yeah, keep an eye on Tesla. It's been grinding up pretty good, and it almost looks like we're going to soon break out of this previous price action resistance and move towards the targets of 473 or up to the all-time high. Now, if you look at the all-time high, let's put a resistance mark there. Ready? Where does it exist? Look at that, right there. See that? Let's delete it. So when I'm telling you that the target on the upside is 530, okay, a lot of people would say, can we get back to the all-time high? That's going to be resistance. So I put a resistance mark right there. Right there, boom. You see how the trend line matches up perfectly? Yes, so that is our trending target on the upside, with our first target being 472. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's my quick little rundown here for you on the morning. I hope you guys like that. Hope you learned something new. Hope it helped you guys trade throughout the day. And with that being said, I will see everybody on the next video.